Mk2. Oh, hi, Kareem Washer.
Oh, hey, Ryan Underbaki.
Thanks, that took so long, so you gotta figure out.
Yeah, I didn't know how I wanted to do it. And in London is Serial Davies.
It's true. And we are Giant Bird.
And this is Giant Bird Brain Trust.
We are currently in New York City.
New York City, Astoria, New York.
That's right.
In the borough of Queens.
Mm-hmm. And we've been spending most of this time working on getting up our interactive experience online that we are calling Salta.
Yes, Salta.
To give to the masses.
Yes, to put out onto the internet and disseminate.
That's a great word.
Thanks. I don't know if you can have a period after disseminate. You have to disseminate it
to something?
Yeah. I didn't want to say to the masses because it's not very internet-y.
What do they call them online?
Users.
They do call them users.
They do call them users. So where are we, Ryan?
Speaker's Corner.
That's right.
Now, it's reminiscent of the Speaker's Corner that we spent time at in London.
That's right, in Hyde Park.
Exactly, in Hyde Park. But this one is located in Salta.
That's right. There's Salta, and then over Salta, there's a bird. And then on the bird, there's a city. And in the city, there's a brain. On top of the brain, there's these three gentlemen.
We just got to figure out who these men are.
Right. What do they have to say?
Right.
Why are they there? Presumably, you don't go to Speaker's Corner if you have nothing to say.
Right.
You've got some. These people have something to say.
It's it seems like the three of them are so different in nature that I think the three of them would have very different, contrary opinions to each other.
It's interesting because they've all been changed by magic.
Right.
Running amok in Bird City is magic, and it's been transforming people and places.
Just looking at Dinosaur Head in the corner, just looking at him, he seems like he's going to have the most articulate argument.
I agree. He's wearing a suit. I would imagine he maybe worked in a museum once.
Yeah.
Maybe he tended to the dinosaur skeletons.
And that's why he became the dinosaur head on top. Yeah. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you think about Balloony?
It's actually an orange.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a little green leaf from the top of the orange. I kind of thought of him as sort of like an Andy Warhol.
Absolutely. I mean, he seems very artsy, right? There's
Right.
an art angle to him.
Right, sort of like an obscure, like, you don't understand, I don't even have a mouth. And what about, on the left here we have garden gnome. Guitardin gnome. Yeah.
Just the way his hands are positioned, there's something very freewheeling about him.
Yeah, he seems very upbeat.
He could even be screaming praises of the city. Probably somewhere where these two lie are dissatisfaction with the city. And it feels like if there's one who's for it, it's probably going to be him.
Yeah, he's really for it. He praises. He must really love having a guitar as a head.
Yeah.
It's questionable whether he can play that. and what that means.
Oh, I bet he could play it.
Right. So maybe he's a kind of celebrity now.
Yeah.
He can play his own head. Maybe he sells huge concerts. So he's gone from being a garden gnome.
Oh, so like his celebrity has come out.
What kind of music do you think he plays?
Bob Denver. John Denver.
What? Bob and John Denver's work.
Bob and John Denver. I swear.
Right.
Bob Denver. John Denver. Yes. John Denver.
John Denver. He plays Forever in Blue Jeans a lot.
It's that beard and an acoustic guitar. There's no way that guy could do emo.
Right. He's not doing any Avril Lavigne covers.
Right. Although it'd be great if he did.
It would be. Maybe he does an album where he reinvents it as folk.
I was gonna say because it would really broaden his fan base. I always get her mixed up with Fiona Apple.
Really?
It's not a good excuse.
It's not, yeah. They're so different.
Yeah, it's...
One has the skater shorts, and the other,
It's Fiona Apple. A tad bit embarrassing.
Yeah, they're two different people, actually.
They are two different people.
And there's no one there at Speaker's Corner.
That's I was going to just talk about that. There's nobody there, which is an interesting idea. Is that a mandate of the city? Is it just by happenstance that nobody shows up anymore? Or is it the idea of, yes, you are free to talk, but nobody can come listen?
Yeah, I wonder, it makes me think that maybe it's a sort of contest. I imagine the top of a brain would not be a safe place to be. And I wonder if people, they try to get on top of these columns, and they all die doing so. These are the three that have actually clawed their way up.
Oh, wow.
And the tragedy is now no one can hear them. There's nobody there to listen.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know, there's sort of like these three Olympians, but there's no crowd, there's no medal.
Right. Right.
So what do they have to say, really?
So I think guitar.
Garganome.
What is it? Yeah.
Guitarganome.
Guitardanome.
Guitardanome.
It's a garden gnome.
Right.
Guitardanome.
Right.
A guitardanome is the entire time speaking of how fortunate and how grateful we should be for what magic has done to our lives, how excited we should be.
Right. And please come to my open mic.
Please come to my open night night. I was going to say, he's extremely excited about it because exactly he has a career.
I got some CDs, some shirts, some download cards.
You can get them for like $5. I don't know, maybe $5. You can, if you give me $5, I'll give you a download card.
Exactly.
Because he forgot his CDs in the back of his van. He's extremely happy with the city. He's extremely happy with what's happened with magic, and he wants people to be in support of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Dinosaur Head, I think he's still wearing his suit. I presume he was laid off from the museum. Maybe they accused him of stealing property.
Yeah, with his head.
That's my head.
Oh, that's great.
But I think he's trying to get by. I thought this was maybe a networking event.
I see.
And he's hoping for that big interview. So he's really sort of self-conscious and self-concerned, trying to keep that big toothy smile.
I mean, you know that orangey. Is it exactly an art exercise where he's just sitting in the back and kind of mouthing along to the rhetoric that the other two are kind of expressing?
He just is he's sort of commenting on the experience of being there. He's not really there. He's sort of like, oh, this is my senior level thesis.
Right.
Is speaking on top of a brain.
Exactly. And now that I've come and done it, I'm all the better of an art student. Right. Yeah, he could be very, very elitist and very.
I don't quite like him in that way.
I don't.
He's got I feel like he's got a party to get to now.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I have to go. Like he came to the top of these columns. He killed to get to them, and he got to the top. He befriended these two people. They became sort of brothers. Then once he got what he needed for his thesis, he says, "Okay, great. My ride's going to be here in a few minutes.
Oh wow.
I've got to go hang out. Sorry."
It's probably three guys. I'm kind of stuck there talking to nobody.
Exactly. Except the user who's logging on to solve it.
Yeah.
And they're all talking at once, like Speaker's Corner, and so you can't really hear any of them. Well, that was Giant Bird Brain Trust. Tune in next time we do one of these.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
Snickerdoodle.
I'll say that too.
You got to say it now.
I did.
You just said.
I did.
You just said I'm gonna say that too.
Right.
It's not.
Pretty sure it is.
Pretty sure it's not.
I'm pretty sure it is.
All right. Okay. We'll agree to agree. Thank you.
Bye.
Signing out.
Chicken.